Oh, good evening, everyone. This is your host, Jess, and how may I say, I'm trying to make an upload that isn't a podcast. Yay! It's almost like that's what I used to do. It's like a consistency in schoolwork. Oh, they do not mix. It's like oil and water, and suddenly you have a grease fire at the KFC. And then the KFC burns down. Oh no! And then you're like, where did the KFC go? I just burned to the ground. But mainly, I just wanted something short, a little sweet to talk about because I've been looking at a lot of the games that have been coming out, and I'm kind of just like, all right, that's a lot of games. And I'm like, okay, I started to play that game. Oh, a new game came out. Oh, another game came out. Oh my God, another game came out. I'm like, oh my God, there are so many games coming out. It's almost like when Telltale was releasing like 8 Telltale games a minute. Well, the thing is like, what I wanted to talk about wasn't really that it's like, oh, an abundance of games is rather a nice thing, right? But now I've been thinking about it, is like, is it really possible to play a lot of those games? Not to say it's like that you should play like every game that you see is like coming out, but there are some that have been really interesting for me to see, or it's like some bad ones that have been really interesting to see why they ended up being bad. It was like Civ 7 had a terrible launch, but I was like, okay, that's $70 to see that. Oh boy. And then I was like, okay, maybe I'll wait a little bit to see if something goes on sale. And then I was like, oh, Pirate Yakuza came out. I was like, that already looks really haha funny, where it's like you got the it's just... I don't even think I have to say anything. I think Like a Dragon speaks for itself. I was like, but that's also not like the only amount of games that came out. It was like Marvel. Actually, I did play Marvel Rivals. I actually have a script for that. I have not finished. I have a document that has a list of them somewhere because I just copied games that I like from like IGN's upcoming game list. And I'm like, all right, I want to look at these. But yeah, it's like, that's not necessarily a problem whatsoever. I think I want to just highlight that it can be a little bit more of a personal problem than like a problem for the video game industry. Because having a wide variety of games will always be healthy. Not everyone likes to play every type of game, and it's good to see a bunch of other types of games. You have the variety from AAA to indie. I mean, AAA is... yeah, I mean, the variety of game there might be a little... oops. But the thing is, it's an option and it's there. And that's good, but I'm like thinking like as someone who's like been trying to like just enjoy media, I was like, think about it like this. It's like, you ever have friends talking about, it's like, hey, have you seen this show? And I'm like, no, I haven't seen that show or movie. And I'm just like, or it's like, you have to make a choice where it's like, oh, what am I going to do tonight after work? Do I play the video game? Do I watch a TV show or movie? Or do I read a book? And I just keep thinking about that choice, or it's like every night, or it's like you end up playing a multiplayer game with your friends. So it's like you're not playing like anything like new, right? You could be playing League of Legends and you're like, wow, that was fantastic. I really love myself, and I don't hate anything about myself. And I just kind of think about that a little bit, especially since COVID, because COVID was really easy to keep up with media output in general. But now it just feels like everything is back to kind of how it used to be, where it's like, okay, it's all kind of piled up and it's like, okay, when can I kind of get to this? Because what is it? I'm planning on making a 2024 like game video at some point, and I'm just like, how many games did I actually play from 2024? And I'll tell you, it was less than probably 2 or 3. All my other games I played were from years prior. Whereas like even finishing Baldur's Gate, I finished Baldur's Gate in 2024 when that came out in 2023. I mean, RPGs take a long time. It was like, it took Donkey 8 years to finish Persona 5. And I'm like, well, Donkey, it's going to take me 16. Your move, Donkey. I was like, some games do just take a while to get done. Some games is like, don't take that long. I played Fly Night, and that took me basically one whole evening to finish. Then again, I did do a little bit of speed running because I was sick of stabbing like the little minion guys, and I was like, you know what? I'm going straight to the boss. The start of January, I don't really think I finished any game that I haven't played. I have my backlog, which is 190 games. I beat Fly Night this February, so it was 191. Now it's 190 after Fly Night, and I'm just like, oh my god, I've barely gotten done with all. Oh my god, I was like, there's so many games that still need to be played. I'm like, or it's like, it's like kind of like your like to watch list, and it just keeps getting larger and larger, and it becomes more intimidating. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to chip at it, where it's like, say you have your friends, and it's like your friends want to do something one night, and you're like, okay, it was like, we're gonna go out one night. Or say it's like some people just want to talk on like Discord or something, and it's just like, now you're kind of just like, all right, now I've done that. What time is it now? It's already 1 a.m. Oh boy, I should go to bed and get up for work or school or blah, 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 blah. I could talk about, I was like, oh, manage your time better. Look at the clock and be like, oh my God, it's John Clock from League of Legends. That's just sometimes just how it be. Stuff gets overwhelming. But it's like, I think it's like you kind of have to take it like piece by piece. There was a book I was reading and I actually didn't want to finish the book. I put it away and I started reading a different book. And I was like, oh, that was a great choice. And so sometimes I think when you have such a big list of games, sometimes if you're not liking a game that you're playing, honestly, I just say switch to another one and see if you like that one more. I like that idea. Or it's like sometimes you get to like a part where like you're really stuck and it's you're not stuck, but it's like I don't really want to keep going from where I'm at. And they're just like, I'll play a different game. Now, funny thing, I haven't actually finished Elden Ring yet. I need to finish Elden Ring before Night Rain comes out. But I think it's like when it comes to media enjoyment, I want to say is like try not to let the constant flow of like output really like teeter on your enjoyment, where it's like I feel so behind. But it's like, if you're enjoying what you're doing, then you enjoy what you do. And I know it's like there's like an output, and it's like you always feel like you're behind, but really, I mean, everyone's kind of like that unless you're like a YouTuber is like, all right, guys. It's me, John Game. It's like you can't really usually keep up with it. It's just a little too much. And then also it's like you don't enjoy everything. So I just want to say is like, if you're feeling like you're getting caught in like the flood of like excess game, so is everyone else. And that's okay. As long as you're enjoying what you're doing, that's what matters. And this was my Yapperino and Cheese of the week. A real video will come out that isn't a podcast at some point.